For social studies, let's continue to work on our Healthy Choices, Healthy Me workbook, lesson 4 through 6. And if you don't have this book, that's okay. You can still just follow along with what I read to you and the pictures that you see on the workbook in front of you. Lesson 4 is called Grains, and I'll read a little bit to you about the food group for grains. Grains, breads, and cereals provide us with the B vitamins, which help in the release of energy for food. B vitamins are important for a healthy skin and a healthy nervous system. They also add fiber to our diets. Most foods that are grains or made from grains, such as wheat, corn, oats, buckwheat, barley, rice, and rye, are part of this grains, breads, and cereals group. Breads include all types of breads, like rolls, muffins, and bagels. Cereals can include things like cornflakes and oatmeal, all types of rice, and pasta such as spaghetti, macaroni, and noodles, and other foods that are made from flour, such as tortillas, crackers, and pancakes. However, there are some food items that are made from some grains that have a lot of added extra sugar and fat, which means they will not be included in this grains group. These kinds of foods that even though they have flour, things like cookies, donuts, cakes, and tortilla chips, are not providing us with the same amount of nutrients that we would have from other food group items, or they might have a lot of other added sugar and fat. Let's go ahead and take a look at lesson 4, grains, and complete this together. Here we have some examples. Here we have cereal, healthy cereals, things that don't have a lot of extra sugar or added artificial colorings that would help to diminish the amount of nutrients. Bread, a taco shell, rice, bagel, and a pasta. We're going to look for those items as we complete the next few problems together. It says, for number 1, fill in the correct bubble for each row from the grains group. And an option, if you want to, is to put an X through any picture that is an extras, meaning something that has extra added sugar or fat, so we don't want to have it as part of our daily diet. Okay, so for example, between chickpeas, whole grain bread, sweet potato, and donut, the grains group would be a whole grain bread. Now, yes, a donut is made from flour, which comes from a grain, but because of all of the added fat that comes from frying it and the added sugar as part of the glaze and part of the dough, they've put an X through that. You can choose if you want to do that or not. Number 2, kiwi, low-fat milk, rice, peanut butter. Which item is part of the grains group? Rice. 3, graham cracker, cookie, broccoli, Colby cheese. The grain would be a graham cracker. And yes, a cookie is also made from flour, but has a lot of added extra sugar. Okay, number 4, grapes, chocolate candy, ground beef, English muffin. The grains item is an English muffin. And when you're ready, let's turn on to the next page. 5, steak, cereal, peach, tofu. The grains item is cereal. Number 6, crackers, cottage cheese, turkey lunch meat, watermelon. Crackers. Number 7, pasta, zucchini, fruit yogurt, bacon. Pasta is the grains. And number 8, apple, corn tortilla, low-fat chocolate milk, soy sauce. The corn tortilla. And at the bottom it says, what I learned, 2 of my favorite foods from the grains group are, and you can choose to use examples from this page Or if you know of other examples, you can write those two things down right now. When you're ready, let's continue on to the next lesson. Lesson 5 is about the protein food group. I'll go ahead and read to you a little bit about protein. Protein includes things like meat, beans, and nuts. This food group can be counted on to provide the majority of protein in our diet. And protein is important because it helps to build strong muscles. It also helps to repair and build new body tissue. So some foods in this group include meats, including all kinds of beef, chicken, turkey, pork, or fish. Beans, which include all kinds of dry beans, such as pinto beans, lima beans, black beans, split peas, and lentils, and also tofu, because tofu is made from soybeans. It includes nuts, all kinds of nuts or seeds, as well as things like peanut butter, which is a type of blending the nut in order to make a smooth sauce for it. So any kind of peanut butter or any other nut butter, if it's like cashew or almond. And also, in fact, eggs are part of this group. But there are a few items that are not going to be included as part of this protein group because they have extra items which either increase the fat level, so that reduces the amount of nutrients we get it. So, for example, foods like bacon, because yes, it's meat, but then it's added with a lot of extra fat from the oil to cook it, or gravy, beef jerky. All of those items are made from meat, but then they do not have as high amount of nutrients. So we're not going to include them in this group. Instead, they'll be part of the extra group, which would mean you can have them in smaller amounts, but not as part of your daily diet. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at some examples here. They have eggs, chicken, tuna, hamburger, beans, and peanut butter. Let's fill in the correct grains group. And if you want to, you can also put an X or any picture that's an extras. Okay, so between carrot, ground beef, soft drink, and oatmeal, the protein source is ground beef. Number 2, shrimp, green beans, soy beverage, and chocolate candy. A protein source here, we know it's meat, so we're going to include shrimp. And actually, too, it has a soy beverage. Soy comes from soybeans, so actually it could be a soy beverage as well. There could be 2 options here. Number 3 has peach, waffle, salad dressing, or hard-boiled egg. The protein source is the egg. Number 4, fat-free milk, fish, flour tortilla, apricot. A source of protein is the fish. And when you're ready, let's turn the page. 5, pretzels, low-fat chocolate milk, tofu, mayonnaise. The source of protein is tofu. Number 6, black beans, orange, ketchup and mustard, brown rice. Black beans provide protein. Number 7, Colby cheese, flour tortilla, kale, chicken. Chicken. And number 8, spinach, peanut butter, graham cracker, honey. The protein source is peanut butter. And down below it says 2 of my favorite foods from the protein group are, and you can use the examples that were included on these last 2 pages, or you can think of your own other meat, bean, or nut source that is a source of protein that you really like. When you're ready, we'll continue on to the next lesson. Lesson 6 is called Choosing Food Group Snacks. The directions say, number 1, in each pair, find the snack that is from one of the food groups and fill in the correct bubble. And then 2, circle the correct food group for that snack choice. Our food groups are dairy, which is milk and milk products, vegetables, fruits, grains, which are things like breads and cereals, and protein, which is meat, beans, and nuts. Let's take a look at our example. Between American cheese and cupcake, which one actually comes directly from a food group source? That would be cheese, and it comes from the dairy group. Number 2, French fries and turkey lunch meat. A great snack would be turkey lunch meat. And what food group does that come from? It comes from protein. Number 3, nuts and chips. Between these two snacks, the healthier option would be nuts, and the food group is protein. Protein, remember, is meat, beans, and nuts. Number 4, tortilla chips and a carrot. Between these two, we'll choose carrot. And a carrot is from which food group? Vegetables. Number 5, our snack choices are a cookie or crackers. We'll choose crackers. And crackers are from grains food group. Breads, cereals, and grains. Number 6, cereal, candy. Between these two, we'll choose cereal. And what food group does cereal come from? It comes from grains. Number 7, bagel, donut. While they look very similar, the nutrient can be quite different. So we're going to go ahead and choose bagel. And the food group for a bagel is grains, because it's a type of bread. Number 8, soft drink, low-fat milk. We'll choose milk. And milk comes from which food group? Dairy. When you're ready, let's turn the page. 9, soft drink, berries. We'll choose berries. And berries come from fruits. Number 10, apple pie, apple. While they both have apple, one of them is a better choice. So we'll choose just the apple. And apple comes from the food group, fruits. 11, chocolate candy, low-fat chocolate milk. We'll choose low-fat chocolate milk because that still has some nutrients there for you because of the milk. So the food group it comes from is dairy. 12, hard-boiled egg, cupcake. Between those two, we'll choose the egg. And what food group source does that come from? Protein. Number 13, string cheese or jelly. We'll choose string cheese. It has less sugar than the jelly would have. And the food group it comes from is dairy because it's a milk product. 14, English muffin, cookie. We'll choose the English muffin. And the food group is grains because it's a type of bread. At the bottom it says what I learned. 2 of my favorite food group snacks are, and then list 2 of those snacks that you really like. You can look here on these pages or throughout any other part of this book, or just thinking about what's a snack that comes from one food group that you really like. Now there are more pages in this workbook and you can choose if you want to complete those or not. That's up to you, but I hope that you've enjoyed learning about how to be healthy and the different types of food groups.